I think as music producers, we can all fall into the trap where we see all of this really nice, expensive gear, and we develop this list in our head of things that we want. Maybe a $1,200 interface, a $2,000 microphone, a $3,000 analog synth, and all of those things are really, really great. However, sometimes there are purchases that we could be making that cost under $25 that could be detrimental in improving our workflow, improving the vibe in our studio, making it more comfortable for clients and artists. So in this video, I want to talk about 10 items that cost under $25 that I think that every studio should have or should at least be aware of. I also think that with the holiday season coming up and it being gift-giving season, it could be nice to have a list of very affordable things that you could tell your friends and family to check out rather than, asking for a Sony C800 or something like that. So we're going to talk about 10 things that you could ask for the holidays, or you could pick up whenever you have a couple spare bucks. So let's dive in and let's check these out. But before we do, my name is Austin. You're watching Make Pop Music. We do weekly videos on music and music production. So if you like this, make sure you subscribe. They come out every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And if you want to be entered to win our giveaway, every week we choose one comment at random to win one of our sample packs, preset packs, or MIDI packs for free. So you have from the time that this video is posted until the end of November 11th to make a comment. I'm going to pick one person at random and you can select one item from our website. That's all available at makepopmusic.com. Check it out after the video. But let's dive in so I can give you this little gift guide / things that you should check out for under $25. The first thing that I want to talk about is a mic stand quick release mount. If you have more than one microphone, these are a lifesaver. You can see right here on the website, they're only 20 bucks. I have a dozen of these. I have one of these on every single microphone and mic stand that I have. And let me show you how it works. I hate having to take microphones off of stands and twist and twirl and set up all of the shock mounts. These things are great. It's essentially two parts, and you just pull it down and disconnect it. So this part will connect to a mic stand, and then there's a top part right here. You can see in the close-up that we're gonna cut to. This little black part just screws into whatever your shock mount is or whatever, your container for your microphone is. And then whenever you wanna pop a mic on, let's say this is on the stand, I wanna pop this on, I can just pull this down, and then boom, this mic is on the stand. Let's say I wanna grab a different mic. Pull it down, pull that off, put a different mic on there, and I'm completely done. Honestly, without this, it can take 3, 4, sometimes even 5 minutes to set a mic up, especially if you have a big bulky stand that's super, super industrial. These things are a lifesaver. If you have more than one microphone, you can afford to get a quick release. I promise you, it's going to make your workflow better. And then also you can invest in one really, really nice mic stand rather than having to have a bunch of inexpensive mic stands that you just swap out. Go with the quick release mounts. I promise you, you're going to enjoy them. The second thing that I want to talk about is actually more for your furniture, and it's just this foam cornering. If you look at my desk, you can probably see that there's this little black inlay. It's essentially just a big roll of foam that you get. I got mine off of Amazon for only 10 bucks, and you can just cut it to the length of whatever furniture you want to put this on. So essentially, it just has some double-sided 3M tape. You stick it to the desk, or you stick it to this, and then just boom, pop it on your desk, cut it to the exact length. And now when I lean against it, it's much more plush on my arms. You don't get splinters if you're starting to wear your desk in. A lot of desks are not made of insanely high quality wood, so they will start to kind of splinter and start to, give you little issues where you lean a lot. I'm putting this foam corner on every desk that I have from now on for only 10 bucks. It has been so massively comfortable. It's really, really ergonomic for typing. You kind of get a built-in little typing wrist pad. So for 10 bucks, I'd pop it on every desk that I have, at least where you're going to be touching it a lot. And I've had multiple clients that have come over since I've put this on the desk, and they all love it. It looks seamless. It looks like it was always here. It looks like it was built into the desk. And for only 10 bucks, I don't know, unless you're buying a really, really expensive custom-made desk, you're going to have wood edges. I find them very uncomfortable. I highly, highly advise you checking this out. The next thing that I want to talk about is called Backblaze. So this is kind of a cheat. It's technically not $25. It's $9 a month. However, I think that this is, if you get one thing out of this entire list, it should be this. So essentially what Backblaze does is it backs up your entire computer onto a cloud server. So I've had a time where my computer died. I lost a hard drive. All I had to do was place an inquiry with Backblaze, and they sent me a physical hard drive that had all of my drives partitioned. So I can show you. If I look at this is my Backblaze. You can go to your restore options. You can do the restore app. You can get them to send you a zip bundle, or you can access them on a mobile app. What I did was I just had them send me a USB drive. It does cost a little bit of money, but I think if you return the drive, they'll actually give you that money back, at least last that I checked. And to me, it's iconic. You can change your settings so you can choose what drives you're actually backing up, how often you want them to back up. I have them doing continuously, so it's basically every 5 minutes. So if, God forbid, my computer just died, crashed, everything is gone forever, I'll have anything that was made anytime before the last 3 or 4 minutes. I actually still have the backup drive in here because as soon as I got it, I decided not to send it back. I just kept it as a, kind of a duplicate in case I needed it. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is the drive that they sent. All I have to do is unlock it every time that I open it. And then once you unlock it, it'll show up as your Backblaze drive. So essentially you can go into your restore and it backed up my C drive and my E drive. So I can go into my E drive and I can access anything that was on that computer that I lost. I can go to my C drive and reinstall all of my files and sounds and everything to the original version. And again, for $9 a month, I feel like this is non-negotiable. Every studio should have this. I also have physical backups, but if you're not doing a cloud backup for $9 a month, I don't know what to tell you. The next thing that can be an absolute lifesaver is something called a headphone splitter, especially if you're using an interface that only has one headphone output. If you have vocalist recording or you have a band in here, you can get one of these. They get massively expensive. You can get a headphone splitter for like $200-300. But if you're on a budget, this one works totally fine. It's $20, and essentially you plug in your input from your main headphone output, and then every channel can just set their level. It's not gonna be the highest quality, headphone mix that you've ever heard. It's basically just creating a duplicate signal. However, if you're literally just trying to have multiple headphones, this thing is a must-have for any studio. I have a couple of these lying around. I actually have 2 headphone outputs on my interface, and so if I plug these in, I can have 8 headphone outputs, and I can't even fit 8 people in my room. So for $20, I think that you need to have one of these. They're really, really easy. Again, literally just your headphone of your interface out into this input, and then you plug your physical headphones into these. And then what's nice is a lot of the time I'll monitor a lot quieter than the artist will in their headphones. So I'll just turn mine down so I can barely listen to it, and then they can kind of adjust theirs however they want. Again, headphone mixers can get wildly expensive, but for $19, I feel like this thing is like kind of a must-have. The next thing that I want to talk about is smart lighting. I have it all around my studio. You can see the blue lights in the back here. I have little floodlights that shine up from the floor. Even the Edison bulbs in my main lamps are all smart lights. Everything that's plugged in that's not like gear is plugged into a little smart plug. And what that allows me to do is essentially change the vibe of my studio whenever I want. I can change the color, I can change the brightness, but it also allows me to turn my studio on and off with one click inside of an app. So I have bulbs like this that just kind of shine in my overhead lighting. I have strip lighting like this that kind of lines the back of my desk and my sidecar to give you that ambient lighting. You can actually see it kind of lighting behind the bookcase back there. I have those little floodlights that shine up from the floor. And honestly, you don't have to get the Philips Hue ones. One thing to do is just make sure that whatever you're getting is compatible with the Smart Life app. And then you can essentially control all of these different brands from Smart Life. You can set up your scenes, you can set up shortcuts. It's so nice. And I think all the lighting in my studio was maybe $150. But if you only have a couple lights, you can easily get this for under $25, and it can instantly improve the vibe. You don't have to make it blue if that's not your vibe. You could just go with like a soft warm white, and you could have like really nice ambient lighting. But these have gotten so much cheaper over the past few years. So if you have always been a little bit intimidated by doing custom lighting, make the jump, get a couple bulbs to just replace your normal overhead lights, get a couple strips and just line your key pieces of furniture, and you'll be good to go after that. The next thing that's actually really funny is a dusting brush. I believe this was $7 off of Amazon, and I got this because I think I saw Dom Segalis talking about it, and essentially I just use it to dust off my gear. I also have like the compressed air, and I even have one of those automatic fan guns. I don't really love the fan gun, and those are like $70. The little cans of compressed air can work for like tight little nook and crannies, but I get worried about spraying that into a bunch of, really sensitive, especially like retro gear. This thing is great. It's a big, super, super soft brush, and I can essentially just dust off. It gets inside the nook and crannies of things like keys and of little, pots and ports. And it's really soft, so you're not going to scratch any of your gear. You're not going to damage it. And for $7, it's nice to literally just be able to go to all my furniture, the tops of my speakers. Obviously, you can have like a normal Swiffer dusting brush. I don't think that those get into things like keys very well. They're not very good for keyboards. Those are great for just like flat surfaces. But for any MIDI controllers, any interfaces, anything that's got a bunch of little nook and crannies, a little $7 super big, fat, soft brush, kind of a game changer. A super like unsexy purchase, but if you're buying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of gear, buy a $7 brush so you can keep it all clean. The next thing that I want to talk about is pegboard. I actually have this in my studio closet, and if you are kind of tight for space, if you can't have a lot of furniture, you can hang these up on the wall. They just make really tiny holes. Even if you're renting, you can patch that up, no problem. And what it allows you to do is basically format it so you can have cables on here, you can hang headphones on here, you can put little baskets. So in my studio, I've kind of configured it in my closet to be exactly what I need. I have it labeled with all of my cables, so whenever I need something, I can just go over to the pegboard, grab an XLR cable, or grab a set of headphones, or grab a power cable, and then I'm good to go. It keeps all of that out of big drawers. It keeps it off of my floor. It keeps it from just like lying around the studio. I'm really, really big on like organization and just workflow, and having something like a pegboard where everything is displayed, super nice. You can get these for 40 bucks, 50 bucks. You can get them for $20 though. This one is 32 inches by 16 inches. If you want to stretch the budget to 40 bucks, you can get 2 of them and have like a big fat panel that you can just hang everything on. And then you can just get these little attachments. So they look like this. You can get long ones, you can get short ones, you can get baskets. You don't have to get this many, but yeah, they're amazing. For only like 20 bucks to be able to organize all of your cables, organize all of your, weird stuff that has like weird proportions to not really set inside of any drawers or cabinets. This is amazing. Grab a pegboard, hang it wherever you have, a couple square feet of space. I promise you're gonna enjoy it. The next thing that I wanna show you is just basically like a bowl or an ashtray. And what I'm using this for is to hold a bunch of picks, right? So every studio that I've ever been to has picks laying all around. If you need thick ones, thin ones, medium ones, they're kind of strode out everywhere. I just bought this actually an ashtray. You can kind of see the little grooves and indents on here. I just bought this. I think it was like 8 bucks. Has a nice little lid. I just keep it right here on my desk. If you own a studio and you have people come, you're gonna find picks all over the place all the time. I think that having some kind of cute little ceramic jar or bowl or ashtray is really, really nice. You can also keep things like guitar slides in there. You can keep those little, like headphone extenders that take it from like a 3.5 millimeter to a 1/4 inch. Any kind of weird little knickknack that always gets lost in the studio, keep them inside of a little ashtray or a little ceramic bowl. Even better if you can find one that's like handmade locally. This is just from Amazon, but yeah, it's great. It's really easy organization. It looks cute over here. Just make sure that you remind people that they cannot smoke in your studio, and if they are smoking in your studio, not to use this as an actual ashtray. The next thing that I want to talk about is candles or room sprays or incense, some kind of smell. I can't tell you how many studios I've walked in and the vibe is just immediately off because it's a little musty. It smells like dust. It smells like a studio. Studios, a lot of the time, they get really, really hot. They'll have a lot of different people in there. A lot of studios, people will be smoking in there. People will be eating food in there. And the smells can get trapped in all of this acoustic paneling, and it can get pretty fucking rancid pretty fast. So I always have candles in the studio, and I have little room sprays. So this thing is nice. I think I got this for like 15 bucks. Smells amazing. You can kind of pick your signature scent. You can get room sprays that go all the way up to like 150 bucks if you want to be bougie and get diptyque. This one's from Voluspa. These are great. I actually find that they're stronger than my Aesop one that I bought that was like 70 bucks. And I think these are $15 a piece. For candles, just pick a scent that you like. I like having something that feels kind of cute and aesthetic, but if you don't care, you could just go get one from Walmart or Target or Bath & Body Works. You just pop it in a corner and light it before a session starts. It literally makes the vibe immediately better. There's nothing worse than an artist coming in the studio smelling musty and dusty and rank. So buy something so your studio doesn't smell like feet. And then the last thing that I want to show you is a phone tripod. You can get these from 10 bucks to 25 bucks. This one's nice. It goes vertical and horizontal, and it'll fit any phone because it's just got a little quick release. And I use this all the time to film easy little content. I think that if you're a producer or a musical artist, it helps to just set this up, film something, turn it into a little time lapse, pop it up as a reel. I think that a lot of the time, people get really intimidated with creating content. Having a little phone tripod like this and just having the iPhone that you already have, I think takes a lot of the scary part between like having to set up lights, having to set up a professional camera. And for 20 bucks, I think you can capture so much cool stuff. Even if you want to hold it like a little vlog, it just helps to not have such an awkward little angle on your phone. And for 20 bucks, yeah, I just feel like have one of these so you can set it up on your desk. You can capture your content. You can kind of, capture your journey as a producer. You don't have to vlog everything. You don't have to turn everything into a reel or a TikTok. However, for 15 bucks, you can use this outside of the studio too. My wife uses it all the time for like crocheting time lapse. We use it to take selfies with our friends. For 20 bucks, pop it on the desk, set it and forget it, pop a phone on there, record something, and you're going to be happy. There's nothing more annoying than taking your phone and trying to prop it up on a MIDI controller or trying to prop it up on gear or trying to prop it up on a music stand. Tripods are like 15 bucks. Just go buy one. I promise you, it's going to pay itself off. Here's one that's really similar to the one that I have. This one's even cooler though because it'll actually extend taller. And then you can even get like a little remote. So if you want to be able to, Bluetooth control it so you start and stop, that's fine. I just edit all of my videos after the fact anyway. But go grab a little phone tripod. You can capture more of your content. This will probably pay itself off within like the first month that you have it. But that does it for 10 things under $25 that I think that you should check out for your studio. Again, as we come up on gift giving season, if you have people in your life that want to buy you a gift, but you don't feel like you want to burden them with buying you, things that are hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, throw them this little list. Again, these things might not be the sexiest options, but they are so useful. And I use my, pegboard for cable organization. I use that more than my Arturia Polybrute. And that thing was $3,000. This is $20. So it's not always about what you spend. It's about how you're going to utilize something in your studio. So let me know which of these pique your interest the most. Other than that, let me know if you have any things under $25 that you recommend for a video. And then that's going to do it for this. We'll be back next week with more content. I'll see you at 10 a.m. next Friday. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to be entered for that giveaway, go ahead and leave a comment between now and November 11th. We're going to pick one person at random. But I'll see you next week. Much love. Peace.